Hello, good afternoon. Happy Monday morning to you. It is Monday, June 15th. We have had a crazy couple of days in the market. If you guys are new to following me on Tocker or YouTube or anywhere, these are the different areas that you guys can follow me. I am on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube with AirplaneJane, LinkedIn, Facebook, my website, cjanetrade.com, and Tocker is Jane Galena. You guys can also always reach out to me at jane@cjanetrade.com. And I want to go ahead and put up a little disclaimer too. And you see here is for educational purposes. There are varying degrees of risks in all trading securities instruments. No past performance is indicative of future performance, and it's best to do your due diligence prior to trading. All right, let's go ahead and get out of that. All right, so let's look at the SPY. I was checking out TVIX, see where we are, because right now, you guys know I follow the dark pool. If you don't know that I do follow the dark pools, you guys can come over and join me and learn about it at thedarkpools.com. So we've had this box right here, right? So I've mentioned this in the past. Again, I said on Friday, hey, if we can break below here, our next level is down, potentially down here at that 295 level, which we hit this morning, and then down further 293 on down to 290. So I know I've had a request for some people to clean up the charts a little bit, so I'm trying to hide some of my lines here for you guys to make it a little bit easier. So looking at it, is there any wonder that we might have this bounce today? In my opinion, no, right? We've gone ahead and we've moved down from this block right here. Let's see if I can go ahead and move it over, right? So we had this block of consolidation. Big guys went ahead, they lay some prints in the sand, and then what'd they do? Well, guess what? They took the market down, right? They took it down to our 200 simple moving average. This day we had massive volume. Again, on Friday, we dropped down and we hit down to this simple moving average, bounced back up, the buyers brought it up. Now today we have closed that gap, right? We are at break even, right? They came and they closed that gap. We're up 1 cent on the day from Friday's close. So we could see a further run up. We could come up here, 306, maybe even up to that 309 range. We could go ahead and have that move, and they might take it down further. Now, I would be bullish above that 311 area right here, or if we go ahead and we close below this 200 simple moving average right here. If the end of the day, they go ahead and the sellers take it back down and we close below this, well, they've gone ahead, they've tested this area, they've closed the gap, and now they're going to go ahead and take it down potentially to the downside. If you guys are following me on YouTube and you guys have questions, feel free to put them in the chat, as well as on the Tocker YouTube or Twitch or Facebook. Happy to answer questions live as well. So we've also got the Qs, right? So the Qs are up 50 cents, more than the SPY, which is no wonder. But look at this. We are hitting a trend line right now. This trend line was back here, right? From the bottoms, we came and we tested it on May 27th. Then we've gone ahead, we've moved up, and we tested it again on the 11th. On the 12th, closed up above it. So if we close up above this, it would be fairly bullish on Microsoft, Apple, some of the larger names, the tech stocks. And that could have just simply been a pullback to go ahead and surge higher. In fact, I'm seeing we've got this right here too, right? So if we are able to go ahead and close above this trend line right here with higher volume, we would need to see that volume come in and go ahead and break those averages. So close above, and I'd really say close above the 240 area right here. Then we're going to be heading back up to the upside again for the Qs, likely for Microsoft and Apple. So let's go ahead and jump into those. Let's check out Microsoft, right? If you guys don't already know, Microsoft is one of the top holdings in the SPY and QQQ ETFs, right? So if we go just right here to the tops, we've closed down below this for the past 3 days on this trend line. If we continue that downward motion, we close below it right here. Can you guys see that? Let me make it yellow. Maybe that's easier to see. right? If we go ahead and we close below it right here, look, it's kind of where the two trend lines come together as well as the 21 EMA. If we have that where we close down below 185, good chance we are going to go back down, test that 183 mark, and then on down here, down to the 179 area. All right. Now, if you guys don't already know, this is my watch list that I do generate every day, right? So I had Digital Ally on here. This one is known to be a runner right now. Had a little bit of a move up 40 cents above the breakout of $5. You can see AstraZeneca, right? AstraZeneca had a large pre-market volume, however, did not really run up on the day, more of a short down to that 50 simple moving average and a bit of a bounce. Genius Brands, I mentioned this on my weekend watch list. So this one is in that wave, right? So it's sort of got a channel right here. If you guys can see this, you start to see things and things start to happen in your brain. All right, so we've sort of had this downward channel and we're up above it. We need to go ahead and see the volume. I would really like a break above the 550 area with volume, and I believe that this one could have nice potential to go on up, test that $10 mark, and then on up subsequently from there. When we go back and we look at it, all-time highs, right? 5 years, our all-time high was in the past couple weeks. Oh, excuse me, back here, when it IPO'd back in 2014, back at high of, what was that? 1326. So I'm gonna go up here, alert. Let's go ahead and add an alert when we are crossing up 1326. Clear skies above that, right? So if we are able to go ahead and break 1326, I'm not talking about today, I'm not talking about tomorrow, I'm talking about more of a swing trade on this one. As a mom of two, which you might hear in the background, they have Cartoon Network that they are streaming now. So that could be a big boost for the brand to go ahead and pull it to the upside and go ahead and potentially create new highs for the company. This is an online digital market space area, which with COVID, everything with kids being home, how long are they going to be home? Not sure. Up here in Canada, potentially even in the fall, they're talking about doing homeschooling as well. So I know as a parent, not that it's the best thing, but sometimes using these streaming services can be a relief for getting things done, right? Like redoing a garden, which we did this weekend. Also, IC, this is a biotech. Usually I do not trade biotechs, and I had it on my list. It went ahead and gapped down, closed that gap to the downside back to yesterday. We also have Net Element. Net Element has been a runner in the past. You can see I had it right here for pre-market, went ahead, opened high, and then it came back down and crashed down. So Net Element as well as Digital Ally, those are two that are low float runners. So they have the ability to skyrocket and drop the same day, 100%, 50%. Many momentum traders love to trade that. But you see, when you start to follow the dark pools, you can trade an option, $20, it could turn into 2,000. So again, come check out the dark pools. Here we have Carnival Cruise Lines, potential long on my list, but it broke out to the long side. Like the market, it is pulling back up, tested that 8 EMA, and then it went ahead and broke through, and it could be coming up to test. We are testing it right at the moment. The 20 simple moving average, 20 simple moving average is at 2044. So we still have a 70-cent move potentially to the upside. American Airlines, a lot of the airlines had some action today. American Airlines, Delta, Love, Spirit Airlines as well. A lot of them had some price action today. You know, they came back to the moving averages and they're back up. Could this go up and test 23, 25? Yes, but it would need to go ahead and break out above that 20 mark. So for now, we have this high volume candlestick right here. It needs to go ahead and break out and hold above 1850, then the $20 mark, and it could fill that right on up to the 50 simple moving average right here. Bezos is going to Congress. Do we buy the dip? All right, let's go and look at that, G-Man. So let's look at Amazon. All right, so this is the weekly chart. Let's go ahead and put it on the daily, right? So for now, we're still in that bullish trend, right? It's holding this bullish trend to the upside. We had a bit of a graystone doji right here. Not the best. It wasn't super high volume. The next day actually had higher volume. But for now, we are holding support at the 15 EMA. If I was to buy this, I can't give you direct investing advice, but if I were to buy this, I would potentially use 2480 as my potential stop. Why? Many times when you see a stock break below, here's an anomaly where it had higher than normal volume and it was bought right back up. But many times when you see it break down below, it will go ahead and break the trend on that. So here we had it break down below. Sure enough, broke the trend, came down. That was the correction that happened back in February. And then it bounced back up above, and it's really been riding that up. So every time that it's come down, potential buy opportunity for it, right? Came down here. Oh, buyers brought it back up. Went from 2,400 up to 2,700. And you can see this trend line here that we'd had developed all the way from back here, right? Low here, came up, almost tested it. So there might be a potential run up here. Again, looking at the cues, looking at Apple, looking at Microsoft. So Apple, let's check out Apple today, and also Facebook too. So, you know, on Apple, we've had this downward trend, right? It came down, closed below the 4 EMA here. Now we're testing that 4 EMA. Where we close today and what happens with today's candlestick could be influential with the market. Influential in the sense that the big names like Amazon, Microsoft, Facebook, the Q holdings, the Qs have been the strongest. If we start to see those pulling down, we could potentially see a major move to the downside, right? Look, Amazon is down, Apple's up, Microsoft is up 20 cents, barely. You know, they pretty much filled the gap. Many times you will see that the algorithms will go ahead, move it up and fill the gap and then take it back down. Facebook as well. Facebook is up $1, had a big move on Friday, 2 days, but look again, it tested that 21 EMA, right? However, we can't at the moment break above these moving averages. They're like this giant roadblock. It's a little baby gate, right? All the babies of Facebook can't get past it. They're being stopped by it right now. They're not able to go ahead and do what they want to do. Hey, once it goes away from here and it breaks out, look at what happened here. We had a nice run up, right? It ran right on up and came up and was testing the highs, right? So it could happen again. But if we break to the downside here, Facebook is definitely on watch for me because it does have this nice gap to the downside down to 217. I don't even know why that's there. 217 right here. So if it breaks down below 224, we've got a nice move right on down to 217, then potentially on down to 210, maybe right here even, 212.50 area to go ahead and pull back to the downside. And it could even test this trend line right here down at the 207 area. So looking at it for now, we are in a no decision zone for me, right? Facebook is going sideways at the moment. We've had 3 days of sideways action. It broke up here, came back down sideways. Up here, came back down sideways. So would like to see that confirmation one direction or the other. We've had some prints that have come up. So right now, waiting to see, right? These are my determining factors. Is it going to break down below this 223.80, or is it going to go ahead and break above 232 and go ahead and take it to that upside? We don't know yet, right? But when we see that we've also had all this sideways action up here, let's pull it back. And let's see with history, was it the same? Look at what happened in February. How many days? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days, or January, 9 days of sideways price action, right? So we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days of sideways price action. They took it up and then back down, and now we have 3 more days of sideways price action. So is this going to be the point at which we're going to drop down? Let's see. G-Man from yesterday, FSLY. Looks like you were right. Do we go up from here? Let's see. Let's look at FSLY. Fastly. All right, well, right now we are in that wedge. Yeah, we broke out from that wedge. We have a bit higher than normal volume. And right now it is breaking out, right? So when we look at it on the weekly chart, let's look at all time, right? This is pretty much clear skies. This is a breakout for the stock. So right now, yes, it looks like it could go ahead and break out. Is it done for the day? Let's just pull it in on a smaller time frame, right? We're starting to have a curl down right now. It's the end of the day. We'd like to see how it's going to end up at the end of the day if it was a potential swing to the upside. However, you want to look at it and you say, okay, it's already had a massive move, right? Well, it's had this massive move. Where are all the moving averages, right? The moving averages are very close to the breakout point right here at 48. Could it come back down and test this? Yeah, in my opinion, yes, it could. And you would want to see it go ahead and hold and break above here, right? You don't want to see it break down below that 47.80 mark. If it breaks down below, then potentially they took it up, sucked the shorts in to buy the shares that they were selling, in my opinion. And let's check out Disney. It's taking a little time to load, guys. Sorry about that. All right, Disney. So Disney, we've got some fibs on here. Let's remove them. Don't need them. So Disney, no wonder, again, to me, that it is having this move to the upside, right? It's gone ahead. It started to curl down. It broke this trend line, massive drop down to this moving average, came back up inside day right here, and we got a little bit of a sandwich going on with the doji. Now, is this going to continue to the downside or the upside? Right now, we're in the middle of the day, so it's hard to say, right? But we're holding below that 21 EMA. Like I mentioned with Amazon, if it goes ahead and it breaks below that and it holds below that, it could end up going to the downside. We might see a further continuation to the downside. We just broke above this candlestick, and so then if we close above the high here of 117, we actually have a bullish engulfing candlestick. So that's going to be bullish, right? But I would like to really see it go ahead and confirm that and break above 1880. It could still go up right up here and have that move up for $1.80 and then come and pull right back down, because there might be more algorithms set up to sell up here. And then that next test would be 1950 and then 120, in my opinion. So I would definitely keep it on watch, see what's going to happen at the end of the day. If you guys know, right now, to me, is not the best time to get into a trade because the algorithms are in control in the middle of the day. They can move it around, really low volume. They can whipsaw the price action around, and it can be harder to stay in a trade because you get whipsawed in and out of it. Right now, this has had a nice trend up all day. It might start to curl over. You can see here, it hit the 20 simple moving average. So there might be a trade down here. Once it breaks there, it might come on down to 114.16 and then on down and so on. But it might go ahead and it might just come down and retrace a little bit like here and then find more momentum and go back on up to the upside and head up to that 118.80 area. I'll check out Twilio. And if you guys don't already know, I do my watch list every morning live on Ticker Tocker. You can sign up for the channel. You can check it out, ask me questions, everything like that. Right off the bat, I see this with my eyes. Right here. Actually, I'm going to draw a trend line. Right? Right here. It didn't draw it. Right there. So we've got a bit of a trend right here on the 5-minute chart. And it's just above it. It's hit the 50 simple moving average and it's holding that trend line. If it were to break here, in my opinion, I think it would go down further, 196.50 to the downside for a pullback. And the fact that it's hitting that $200 mark, if it does pull back, it could easily have a retracement, maybe even on down to 180 before it would go ahead and continue back up to 200 and surge on through. When we look at it on a daily chart, those are going to go straight vertical. We would see, again, if it wouldn't be surprising if it pulled back to that 188 mark and then continued on up. You can see how every time it came here, look, the first test of it, second test, and then it bounced up off of it. So if it can hold it again at 188 and bounce up, we could have a nice breakout above the 203 range. As you can see, it tested right there almost today, 20 cents shy of 203. All right. Now let's look at, oh, we're on the cues. Let's go to my list. So I did have American Airlines as well on my list for today, potential short. Many of the shorts ended up being a long. That is why I say potential short or potential long, because it depends on where the momentum is going to take it during the day. This had a potential setup to go either way, and now it's going up and it's hitting this moving average right here. Nice, great trade from 1605 on up to 1730. 1717 is where it hit today, right? CCL, same scenario. Again, it had a retracement back on up to moving averages. So when it comes this far away, you'll see many times it'll go back, and then we happen to open lower today and go back again. So big picture, let's look at VXX as well and see where we are. I drew a trend line from before. Back up here, we had this trend line that was developed at the end of March, right? When we started to bounce up. Every time that we touched it, we broke through. Or excuse me, we didn't break through, it rejected it and it pulled back. Again, almost hit the 50 simple moving average and it pulled back. Well, now we've gone ahead and we've broken through both the 50 simple moving average and that trend line. Is fear here? Is the US population thinking that the market is going to crash? Right now, we've had 3 days up above this trend line. Where we end up today, if we end up above this 50 simple moving average and this trend line, in my opinion, could be more telling of the fact that there's more of a downward trend to come before we go back up again. With the SPY, again, we filled that gap. Now we're up 34 cents, right? It could come back down. We're at that 21 EMA again. I mentioned it on Amazon. If we close below it, we could go back down and it could be doing this, right? So we came down, we're here, then it opened up here, came down, closed right here. Now we opened down here, came up, and it could bounce back down again. And maybe it's going to go down to the next level, down to 294 or even down further. Or it could be that they're done bouncing it. They've bought what they've wanted to buy. And where we close today could be telling. If we close below the close of Friday, likely they were taking it back up to put more shares on to sell. Go ahead and squeeze those bears that they got in this morning because they might have felt they missed out and manipulated it so that, hey, they got in here, they thought, yes, we're below that 200 simple moving average, I'm going to short it. And then they got squeezed up here, forced to buy the shares, and now potentially they could be selling more up at the top of this candlestick, right at that 21 EMA, and bring it down further. Berkshire. Let's go here. It's in the SPY. Is this A class or B class? There we go. So Berkshire is down on the day. And you can see we've got a nice downward trend right here, right? So, oh, let me pull it up here. There, that's better. So we might see a retracement back up here to that 50 simple moving average, and then it could pull back further. Again, we are below, well, we opened below, excuse me, this high volume candlestick. If we close below it again, there's a good chance that it could go to the downside. Again, it broke the 20 and the 50 simple moving average here. We did have the 20 crossing up over the 50. So somewhat of a bullish indication right there. However, we have the faster 4 crossing over both the 20 SMA and the 50 SMA right here. So that's going to be a bit more bearish. So the shorter term is starting to really curl down. If that 20 goes back and it curls back down over the 50 simple moving average again, then it's going to lead me to be even more bearish. But I'm paying more attention really to this high volume candlestick right here. Where are we going to close from here? You can see the low here of today really pretty much filled the gap to the left over here almost, right? It tested it and then it bounced up. It could come back down further and they could bring it back down to that 175 range. If we break 175, going down to that 172.50, you can see the increments over here after 172.50, test down of this gap right down here, okay? So seeing all of that, there's a lot of indications that we could be starting to roll over again. Not 100% confirmed, because if we look at the weekly charts on the SPY, right? We also want to keep that in mind. The weekly chart, the further out, it's still going to give you that confirmation of what the overall trend is. That's really weird. I didn't change it to that. Oh, I tried to hit weekly and I hit 1R. Okay. So it's very strange. I'm not sure what it is doing on the chart. This does not look like a normal weekly chart. Let's go over here. If you guys do not believe in Mercury in retrograde, seems like it's come a little bit early and it is messing with computer programs. Rebooting, restarting, everything. So let's go right here. Let's just use this chart. So SPY weekly chart should look a little bit more clear. And we'll clean up these pivot lines, take them off for you guys. Oh, it's really slow. All right, so you can see over here on the weekly, it's running really slow. We are still above the 4 and the 8 EMA. Right? So we are still above the, well, we're in between. We're just testing the 4 right now, correction. But we're above the 8 and we're above the 21 here. So if we break below that 296 on the weekly chart, we could see more of a downturn down to 294, test of this block, and then further on down from there, down to the 291. Definitely gonna work on cleaning this up, it's very messy. But we had that little island up here, big red candlestick last week. Are we going to go ahead and take out this candlestick this week? Or are we going to use this level right here and we will reject it? It's simply day 1 of the week. We'll definitely follow up on Friday as to what has happened with the market. But there's a potential at this moment for it to go to the bullish side, definitely. We are still bullish on the weekly chart. It is not confirmed that we are in an overall bearish correction downtrend. We've bounced off of that 200 simple moving average, and it could continue on to the upside. I will pull up TTD for you, G-Man, if it does want to cooperate with me. If not, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. There we go. Let's go ahead and pull up TTD. It works quickly here. All right. It's running a little slow, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up for today. If you guys have any questions, you guys can always reach me at jane@cjanetrade.com. Come and join us over at the dark pools. Learn about with the big guys, the big fish that lay the billion-dollar positions in the market. It really helps to lock in those profits and have profitable trades. So TTD, we have a nice bullish engulfing candlestick, almost engulfing right here. And I would like to see it really break above 370 to be fully bullish on it overall. It could still, where it closes today at the end of the day, my day trading is done. So it would be for a swing trade, and I would like to see it break out above that 370 level and hold it strong for potential swing trade. Or if it pulls back down and closes below this, the low of the day, for a nice bear trade. All right, guys, have a great week ahead. I will see you all on Friday at 1 o'clock. Have a great week. Carpe Profit, seize those profits one trade at a time.
The risk of loss in trading commodity interests can be substantial. You should therefore carefully consider whether such trading is suitable for you in light of your financial condition, and considering whether to trade or to authorize someone else to trade for you. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
The Ticker Tocker app brings the powerful trading technology tools of the Ticker Tocker desktop platform into the hands of its users who are on the go. Ticker Tocker connects novice and advanced traders with industry leaders who are providing real-time trading content throughout market hours every single day. The Ticker Tocker app allows traders to follow and get real-time push notifications of trading leaders' trade ideas, all while on the go. Ticker Tocker leaders host interactive live trading rooms which provide all-day coverage of their trading ideas and methods seamlessly with social chat for real-time feedback from the expert community of Ticker Tocker's powerful user base. Set up and/or subscribe to automated trading strategies to mimic the decisions made by trusted professionals automatically. Powering up your trading AI has never been this easy. We focus on intuitive trading efficiency so you can focus on what matters most in your life. The world's most powerful trading technology is now in the palm of your hands.
Placing verified trades in Ticker Tocker allows you as a leader to have a verified performance report that gives transparency to your followers of exactly how well they could have done potentially if they were following and copying your trades. To place a verified trade in the Ticker Tocker system, all a leader has to do is go to the top part of the platform where the menu icon is located, and then go to the trading part of the application and click on Order Entry. From the Order Entry panel, a leader has the capability to be able to place trades from either the simulator in the platform or a linked broker account, at which point, by checking on the checkbox Share as a Verified Trade, a leader is able to place trades with a full range of order options and then have those trades be tracked through the verified trade system. As those trades are then placed, they will show up in the order book, where a leader will be able to see all of the historical executions that they've received for their trades, both in real time and previously, as well as any errors or any additional criteria that may have happened when those trades were placed. The order book is filterable by broker, account, and simulator, by date range, and is also updated in